Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Power Up Summit. We are this Power Up Summit rally. As I said last evening, you see who our guests are tonight. I see someone just came into the backstage. Let me allow Michelle to come on in. Welcome, Michelle. We are just getting started. So those of you that are tuning in, we want to welcome you to the Power Up Summit for 2021. We're doing a rally up until July 14th. We will be rallying, talking about the summit, asking you to register. So as we come on this evening, we want to ask you to invite your friends and your frenemies. Let me see if I can turn there's some background noise going on. So let me see where it's coming from. But again, my name is Dr. Betty Speaks. I am a imprint leader. I'm your girl who actually empowers others to leave their imprint so others can follow them. You know, you don't want to take your legacy with you. So I took that word legacy and changed it into imprints, you know, like your fingerprints or your footprints. You know, we want to leave things behind so we could have someone else carry those things on. The reason that's possible because of Maya Angelou. I was blessed to be born on her birthday. So she left great imprints for me. And I'm sure that as you listen in or you tune in from wherever you are today, these young ladies that are participating in the Power Up Summit for this will be in July in less than 24 hours. They are here. These are some powerful speakers. As you can see my title up there, it's time to power up. And as I've been saying all week, it's time for you to get rid of those old power cords, those old extension cords, and get something new. You know, we have new phones that are probably in the 24th century now, and then smart TVs. You can't use those old power strips, those old power cords to operate these things. You have to power these devices up with something that is capable of holding their charges. So that's where we are in life. We have to power our life up now in order to take on the new changes and new challenges that we have faced in life. So again, I am your lifetime imprint leader, and I'm extremely passionate about empowering individuals to resurrect and establish themselves from where they are right now. And this Power Up virtual summit that we are having, there's over 100 speakers that are there, and we have amazing keynote speakers. But one keynote in particular, we're going to play a game later on in this show with our power speakers. So I'm sure they are taking notes to find out at least who those keynote speakers are so they can share them with you. So we're going to play that game and see if they're aware of who the keynote speakers are. So be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't registered yet, go ahead. Go over to timetopowerup.com and register. Register your kids, register again, your friends and your frenemies, because we have an awesome lineup of speakers, from entrepreneurs and business owners to best-selling authors and thought leaders who have taken dreams into reality. You're going to find sessions to help you reach your goals and achieve your greater success, live a healthier life as well. So I'm not going to talk too long. I just want you to know that this will be a 5 days of connection, creation, and contribution. And I just happen to have 3 of the most phenomenal power speakers tonight. No, 4. Yes, 3. There's 3 of them that are with us tonight. I had to look down and see who was on stage, but I'm gonna ask them various questions. And if you have a question for them as they are speaking, please feel free to ask them. I promise you, just chant their name in the chat and ask them that question that you may have for them. And again, like and share this with your friends, your frenemies, and families. So my first question to one of our for one of our powerhouses, what motivated them to start in whatever endeavor they started. But first of all, we're going to ask them to introduce themselves and tell you where they are held from. So like I said, I'm going to move out of the way just for a second, and I'm going to ask my sister Felicia if she can tell us where she's hailed from and what it is that she does.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Felice Kelly Gillum, and I bring you greetings from the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'm located in Gulfport, and I am a #1 best-selling author, part of one of Kern's anthology projects, Make It Happen. I also am a speaker and a nonprofit director. I'm the executive director of USO Gulf Coast. We provide services to our nation's men and women who serve in uniform in our military. So a priceless opportunity to be able to give back and serve those who serve our country so unselfishly.
Yes. And I didn't even tell her that I was a retiree. Thank you for serving those who are serving and have served, my sister.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Yes. And she said, I am from MISS. I humpback. S. Yeah, you guys know that song.
We'll get it in the green room.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to bring up Miss Lynn yet. Tell us who you are and where you hail from, my sister. What are you doing?
Hello, my name is Jaquela Lynn. I am a productivity and wellness coach from Tampa, Florida. I am a mom of 3 little boys under the age of 10. So y'all know I be keeping busy, and a wife of over 12, almost 12 years. Yeah. And so I am, like I said, in Tampa. I am a wellness coach. I help women get their lives together. I help you maximize your time, your potential, so that you can have a productive, fulfilling, healthy, and empowered life. And we all do that together in my courses, through my mastermind groups. And of course, I love to do it when I get to speak on the stage.
Oh my goodness. So you know we love us some Tampa. Miss Tampa, she said, I have 3 boys and a husband. So I'm the only girl in my family. So I have to have this platform of wellness because of who I am surrounded with. That's what I got for her. She said precisely. Come on, Michelle. Tell us who you are, where you are hailed from.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Listen, I'm country, so I'm loud. So I had to give us. Anyway,
she didn't take us there.
I am Michelle S. Thomas, your relationship surgeon, and I am originally from the Carolinas. I'm a Carolina girl, Charlotte, North Carolina, but I have had the privilege to live in amazing places like Dallas, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, and now we are in Atlanta, Georgia. So not in the military, but you would think that we are. I am a relationship, business, and life coach. I am a 4-time best-selling author. I have 7 businesses. I have 7 kids, 6 of them boys, 1 of them girls, a husband, and a rescue cat, and a partridge in the pear tree if you look hard enough. So, we got a lot going on over here.
Oh my goodness. And then she made me think of the 12 Days of Christmas song as she was naming off of all of this. You know, I just wanted to sing that, and a trees and a pear tree. You know, as she was going on with her list of 7 and 7, and welcome, Michelle. And that's beautiful. You have how old is your daughter?
So my baby girl, she is 20, and bless her heart, Dayton is like a jigsaw puzzle. I almost have to smuggle her out before her brothers because she is next to the youngest.
Okay. So I was going to do a hookup with your daughter, and but she's too old. We have to. We can't hook her up with you.
Oh, girl.
She can babysit though.
There you have it. There's the connection. Each time we get the ladies here, they connect some kind of way. So there is your connection.
I right. I know that's right.
Oh my goodness. So with these phenomenal businesses that you have going on, I can see why you are one of the powerful speakers, because each one of you are doing things that are amazing, and your moms for the most part. You are definitely genuine moms on a mission. 7 businesses. Come on now. With 7 kids, 1 business per child, and then a husband. They're
That
nodding like
that husband is the biggest full time. That's 20 years. Listen, and everybody who's out there going, I don't have a man. Okay, they take a lot. Okay, they got a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. So yes.
That's another show. We're gonna do that show the next time.
Oh, so
That's a show in itself. So I'm gonna ask you, ladies, what was your motivation to get started in your business? Just the motivation, because sometimes there's another question coming after that. So don't go too far with it, because I have a caveat for you. So I'm gonna start back with you, Michelle, since you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I gotta use my other hand. 6, 7. We're going to start with you, Michelle. So we're going to take a rest so we can understand what motivated you to get started with 7 businesses. That's a good number too.
you know what? If I can be honest with you, what happened throughout my whole entire life, I wanted to have my own business. When my husband and I met, we wanted to run a business, but I kept waiting for the perfect moment. I was waiting on perfection. And so what happened in June 15, 2017, we lost one of our boys to a car accident. And so what I learned through my grief was that time isn't on our side. And so the things that I wanted to do and the things that I wanted to accomplish as a legacy for my family, I had to tell myself I had a choice. I had to decide. So I could either stay in the hole and grief, or I had to get up and let's make this happen so that we can honor him. So that is, my family is always my motivation. My family keeps me going, and knowing, and that baby that we lost was the biggest cheerleader I could ever have. He thought that his mom was invincible. So I want to make sure that I honor him in everything that I do and build the legacy that we've all talked about.
I was back here saying wow, 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 and forgetting to bring myself back on as I'm saying wow. So first of all, our deepest condolences for your loss, and you say everything with sincerity, with a smile, and here my heart is bleeding at you for your authenticity, your genuineness, and then even though you lost a child, you still say your husband is your biggest child, but what a powerful, powerful testimony. And I can't
But
wait.
God, I will say that. But God.
But God, yes. And that was in there too.
God.
Mm.
Yeah, anywhere else to make it through. The reason I can sit here with a smile on my face and be able to have this conversation is because I know that I am where I'm supposed to be.
Yes. Yes.
Where
So you are I just want to let everyone know that you're tuning in to the Power Up rally, and Michelle just introduced herself and gave her why, and she is powered up, honestly, to have gone through what she just shared with us. You have to be motivated, dedicated, and powered up to come out and to be able to still pour into others, with a positive attitude. That's what she's bringing. And she's saying, I have work to do. Yep, I birthed my kids. I've done the Sarah and Abraham things. So I have some places to go and things to do, and I want to leave an imprint just for them and for others. I want them to know how strong I was, even through a loss. I'm not going to even mess with you right now, Michelle, because I have some more questions for you, girl. I may just have to keep you backstage for a minute after that one. But come on, Miss Jacqueline.
Jaquela Lynn.
Jaquela Lynn.
We gonna
Yes.
get it by the end of this.
I know. Miss Michelle's fault. She messed me up. You know?
That was full of power, and I appreciate her for sharing that. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was very powerful. Come on, Jaquela, take us home with yours.
See, you got it. So my motivation is when I was watching my family grow up, they put in so much. They gave their all. And my grandmother in particular, she was, our matriarch, and she expired before her purpose did. And I realized that in honor of her, in honor of all the hard work that my mom put in and the women who have influenced me, that it's up to me to make sure that I live out my purpose, that I serve my purpose, that I align my actions with my assignment on this earth. I want to make sure that the things that God called me to do, I can actually do it. And so I'm making sure I'm always keeping my body together, keeping my mind right, keeping my spirit on track. But my motivation is to make sure that I can be there for my family. I want to be there for my blood family, for my non-blood family, the people who are my family and my groups who are praying for me. My motivation is to actually physically be here.
I love it. I love it. I tell you, when you said everyone, you named off everyone, not just your immediate family. You wanted to be all of your family, whether you gave birth to them or not. You
Absolutely.
said this for everyone. My Michelle just came back, so thank you for your why. And now we're going to go to Felice and find out her why. Miss Felice from Mississippi.
Well, for me, I really did not have a choice but to get involved in the things that I am involved in. As far as writing and speaking, those are things that I can never remember not doing. Even as young as kindergarten, I was always leading speeches, writing. So that's something that I've always been very passionate about. At some point in my life, I kind of stalled and stopped doing those things that I love. I find that sometimes life beats us down and puts us in places to where we lose ourselves. And in losing ourselves, we lose some of the things that we love the most. And for me, that was public speaking, that was writing and articulating myself with my words. But one thing about Current Cherry, she will not allow you to sit on your gifts. She definitely motivates you to be the best version of yourself. And so with her help, I was able to really try to find my voice again and to come to some form of peace with my story and where I had come from. But when I say that I really did not have a choice, it's because I came to recognize once I evolved spiritually that my story obviously is not my own, but not only is it for me to share to others in the world and to all of God's children, but for my own healing and my own spiritual advancement. It seemed like the more that I did not express myself or live within the gifts that God had blessed me with, I would just be stagnant. I would find myself almost just in a whirlwind of just winding around in my own space, in my own time, but not really progressing to the true truth that God had built for me, that he had manifested in me so early on in my life. So for me, it wasn't an option. I had to evolve into the person that God made me to be, because there are lives out there that need to be saved. There's stories that need to be told. And I'm a part of that manifestation. So I just had to begin to be vocal.
I'm not even messing with her. Listen, hang out with people who will impact your future and not your past. You want to pay it forward. You have to take just 30 seconds and share this page with others. Just go ahead and do it. We want to let you know that you got to get powered up. Honestly, you have to get powered up to get more information about what these ladies will be, powerful ladies, will be speaking on during the month of July, between the days of 14 and 18. 5 days of nothing but powerful speaking. Let me tell you, from the 14th to the 18th, over 100 speakers, and you get to listen to three of them tonight. You're going to want to sign up, register. Again, the link is timetopowerup.com. Timetopowerup.com. We know that you've gone through challenging things over the past year, maybe even the past month. But can you imagine being in a place for 5 days with nothing but inspiration? It's time to say goodbye to Negative Nancy and No Hope Bob. You got to find those that are sacrificing themselves to make a difference, not only for themselves, but for others. I tell you, go back and listen to what they said as they introduced themselves. It was amazing how they have workshops, and they have material to offer you. One said she was a maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, maybe 8-time best-selling author. Come on now. These ladies are not just sitting around doing nothing. They're actually leaving an imprint, and they're making their imprint rise, and they're coming to this show to power you up. Again, you need to get rid of all of those negative things that are not powering you up, those things that are defective. Now is your time to register and listen to. I've had amazing speakers all week. Listen to these amazing, powerful speakers share with you. I'm telling you, the only thing you have to pay is free 99. That's all it costs you to register. Free 99. There is an up level too to get into some of the other doors, and that has a small fee to it. But Warren Buffett said that the best investment one can make is in themselves. If that investment is going to do something to shift your life, to allow you to pivot from where you are now, why don't you do that? Invest in yourself. Start out with the free 99 packet and then invest into the next packet. Now I want to ask the ladies, what were some of your setbacks? What were some of your challenges that you had to overcome in your journey to your entrepreneurship? What were some of those challenges? And I'm going to start with my sister again. She said, "You're going to get my name before the show's over, Miss Jaquela."
Yes, you got it. Okay, so for me, one of the setbacks was trying to stay inside of a box, a perfect little box that was created by society and not by God. And so here I am trying to do what seemed right. Go to school, get an education, get a job, pay into my 401k, but I was miserable. So it kind of set me back because I forgot my worth. I forgot how good I was at what I can do. I forgot the skills that I had on the inside of me because I was trying to make sure I was doing the things that was inside of that tiny little box, that tiny little boring conventional box where I was not created to be conventional or tiny or any of those things. I'm loud, I'm goofy, I'm fun, and I needed to get out of that. And when I began to really understand what my worth was and what I had on the inside of me that I can offer to other people, I overcame my setbacks. And one of the biggest things was just being productive and keeping my eyes focused on what it is that I wanted to do. And when I set my mind on something, I love when people say she believed she could, so she did. That's me. I'm she. I believe that I can do this entrepreneur thing. At first, I didn't know what it was, but I knew I had some lives to change. I knew I had to do it around my schedule with my 3 boys. And so that's how my book was birthed, Before the Sun Rises. That's how my course was birthed, the Productivity Toolkit, and even my groups, my groups. Everything was birthed around me overcoming, stepping out of the box that society had put me in.
Felice.
Yes.
Michelle, she disappeared on us again. Did you hear all of that? What are we gonna do with Miss Jaquela?
I don't know. First, I need to get a DNA on Jaquela to make sure where we're related, because her story is so similar to mine.
Talk
That
to us.
is exactly kind of some of the things that stagnated me in my personal growth, was just trying to confine myself in a box. And even though I always knew that I was different, I was unique, I was kind of the black sheep of the family, just very different from my parents and my sibling. But at the same time, I just always felt like I had to conform to what, society said that life should be, and the church said that life should be, which, is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I did not allow myself to really be an innovative thinker and independent thinker, so that I could truly use the gifts that God manifested in me. And with that, there just comes so much, I think, when we concentrate on the things that society has placed in their expectations. There are just so many unrealistic expectations that you feel you have to follow. And me trying to follow and then taking detours, because of course I'm the black sheep, it just really created so many unnecessary obstacles in my life that probably could have been mediated a different way. But one thing that I did learn is that it's all part of the journey, and it's all so very important and vital to where I am today. Because had I not made some of those detours, had the journey always been as great or as spectacular as it should have been, I would not be able to tell my story with conviction. I would not have the same credibility. I wouldn't be relatable, and people would not be able to have a trusted person in me that knows that I understand, I have empathy, and that I use the discernment that God gives me to be able to uplift my fellow man. So definitely, Jaquela, when I get down to Tampa tomorrow, we're going to get that DNA test, do a little swab.
Listen, we already sisters in Christ. I'm ready. I already told you.
I feel you so much on everything that you were saying. Just so powerful. So powerful.
Thank you.
Wow. See the connections? And this is the purpose. This is a great purpose for doing these events, so the speakers can meet one another. You guys are like, I think your states are somewhat connected, but no, they're not. But anyway, she says she's coming to Tampa. I'm coming to meet those 3 boys. Come to give you a hand with 1 or 2 of them. But those that come right on. Again, you're listening to 2 of our powerhouse speakers. We have a 4th one that's out there flying around. She's probably shouting, have her shouting shoes on, thinking that she was the only one needed plugged to be powered up. So Michelle, as soon as she gets back, we will get her to answer some of these phenomenal questions. But I want to ask you, what has been who have been some of your inspirations to keep you going, keep you focused on the things that you are doing to make your businesses and your lives so successful. And I'll start with you again, Mr. Jaquela.
So some of the people who have inspired me and motivated me to keep going, I'll say, for one, my husband and my mom have been my biggest cheerleaders. They root me on when I feel like I'm not supposed to do something or I'm scared. They're like, no, you're going to do it. So those 2 alone, my mom has been there from Jump Street. Like, whenever there was an opportunity for me to be great, no matter what sacrifice she had to make, she made it. And so I'm grateful for them. And then I've got these 3 little amazing boys that I'm raising with my husband. And we want to make sure that we're raising mighty men of valor. And we also want to make sure that when they choose their wives, that they choose good, that they level up, okay? And so besides them, I've got over 400 people who I coach and train and help to live their best lives. And knowing that all of these people are trusting me as their coach and they're watching me, I can't give up. I can't stop. I got to keep going and keep powering up.
Yes, and she said, I have to be the example. I have to stay the example. I have to stay focused, follow one course until successful, And then if anybody want my boys, they got to come through me first. We got to do the checks and make sure they're checking. That check mark is right. I invested too much in them for them to be the men that I am turning them into. I hear you, my sister. We're not messing with those boys. Listen, ladies, listen, Linda, listen to what I'm telling you right here. Come on, police. We're gonna give Jaquela a break because she said, "Don't touch my boys." Don't.
Oh, my inspiration. So much inspiration around me. I'm very blessed to have a very strong village. But for me, it goes back 100 years. It starts with my ancestors, who I stand on the backs of all of them. My great grandmother had 14 children, and I recall stories of the time when she opened the first Black owned grocery store in Hinds County because she needed a way to be able to provide for her children. And she did all of this with the elementary education. But she had so many children and so many grandchildren that she knew that if everybody in her family, in her village, spent just a penny a day in her store, then it would be enough for her to sustain their lifestyles. So I stand on the backs of her. My maternal grandparents had 10 children and put all 10 of them through college. They're farmers from up in North Mississippi. Just those ancestral roots. And then they pass that on to the generation, to my parents, my parents who actually celebrate their 48th wedding anniversary today. And my father retired today. And he's worked all his entire life, either on a farm or once he got older and graduated from college in a professional career atmosphere, but always the hardest working people that I know. And then I move on to my husband, who has dedicated his whole entire life to working and serving in servant leadership for his me and his children. And my kids range in age from 3 to 23. And from the baby on up to the oldest, they are all so inspiring and give me exactly what I need and the word when I need for it to come. So I stand on the backs of so many, and then I have so many that are still holding my hand that take me to the next course of greatness. So I have too many people invested in me to not go forth and pay it for what has already been invested.
Felice, what stood out with everything you said, well, my gratefulness goes back over 100 years ago. 100. Who does that? Who gives credit for something that took place over 100 years ago? So I hear you when you say that. It kind of reminded me of like my family, my father's side of the family. They've been entrepreneurs like for that 100 years, ever since our families were freed from slavery. They took up roots and started claiming what was theirs, and then trained their kids to do the same. So it just keeps paying it forward, for just like you're saying, it goes back 100 years. So one would have to really look back. Oh, Grandma, who in the family was doing something way back when? I want to know where I get my genes from, where I get this burst of energy to want to do something for others as opposed to staying at home and just being a mom. Because you know I wanted to get married too. Maybe you fell in love. Of one young lady was on the call, I think it was 2 nights ago, and she said, well, we were dating at first, and then all of a sudden I got pregnant, and then a girl came along, and then we got married, right before we gave birth to my first daughter. And next thing you know, another daughter came on. I wanted to go to school. I'm thinking, I never knew I wanted to get married. Well, where these four girls come from? So each time she wanted to do something in her life, there another baby would pop up. And so she said, I'm going to do this Power Up conference, honey. I want to birth our business. I want to birth this business that I told you about when I was pregnant with the first child, and then when the fourth little girl came along, the other kids were teenagers. And she's like, whew, they're old enough to stay at home by themselves. I can go to school and do some things and leave a legacy, leave an imprint for my three little girls. So the moment she went to started going back to finish up her doctoral degree, guess what? Here comes that next baby. So now the little girl is 2 years old. She says, I am going to birth this business and I'm not birthing anything else. You will not get a boy out of me. This is it. I want. So when you say 100 years, I could just see those little girls as she shared the stories of, I always wanted to own a business. I always wanted to leave something for you all so you wouldn't have to work as hard as I did. You wouldn't have to know what it was like being a slave to a corporate office. So ladies, keep powering up, keep doing what you're doing. Stay plugged in to that power, and it's going to keep evolving. Who knows what the next will be? It may not be power up. One lady last night said it's going to be digital. We're going to be doing digital stuff, zooming around in cars digitally. I'm thinking, really? Like the Jetsons, is that what you're talking about? So we're doing some amazing things this year. Just thinking back by what we went through last year and how you all are just coming up, blooming, Who said you couldn't do anything? Who says you couldn't? So that's why we're here tonight. We're asking you all to plug in to this platform that's going to take place, the Power Up Summit, next month from the 14th through the 18th. All you have to do is register. Like I said before, how much is it, ladies? Free 99. See, they got that down packed now. That's Jaquela's fault. She said, you will have no, my name. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't put the girlfriend's neck in there. But it's like only free 99. That's all it costs for you to register for this phenomenal summit with some amazing speakers. And my next question to you, ladies, because I believe this will probably be the last one, and I probably may have answered this. What type of imprints would you like to leave for the audience, or even your families, or anyone that will be listening to you at the summit? What is that imprint? What's that like takeaway, that legacy? But I use the word imprint. Like someone would say, man, Jaquela really slapped me upside the head when she said that she has 4 boys and nobody better not touch them because 3. I'm thinking about the 4 girls. Come on, sister. Okay, Jaquela, I'm going to get you to get answer.
Ooh, girl. You trying to add another boy on there?
I know, right? Who knows? Who knows?
I'm prophesizing. Order on one accord. I have 3 amazing boys. But, when the people leave my session, I want them to feel empowered. And I want them to leave having a plan. I'm all about having something that you can implement immediately And for women, I teach them, we create more than just babies. And so when you were just telling that story about the mom who kept stopping because she kept getting pregnant, I'm like, get pregnant and do it anyway, you know? And so I want to teach people that we create more than just babies. It's all about being productive and taking care of yourself. And a lot of us, especially moms and wives, we do not prioritize ourselves. And so I'm going to make sure when you leave that you renew your mind to prioritize yourself. It's not selfish, to transform yourself and to make a plan and stick to it. Right there. Mm-hmm.
She said right there. She's very demanding too. I can already tell that, in control. So you have no reasons not to learn anything, because she will. Look what she just did to me in a matter of like 30 seconds. Like you got this, okay? You got the name, all right? I'm telling you, you got it. Yes, ma'am. I got it. So that's how she's gonna come to the Power Up comment, the Power Up Summit. She's gonna empower you to get her message. I already feel it. It's in my bones, right, Felice?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Well, for me, there are a lot of things that obviously I want for the viewers to take from my message. But one of the most important is to recognize the light that shines within them. A lot of times, at some point in life, we allow our internal light to dim. It might be negative relationships. It might be trauma, toxic relationships within ourselves, anxiety, depression, just so many different things that we allow the world to weigh us down with. But I want us to be able to look back to the littlest version of ourselves that we can remember, you know, the 5-year-old that felt that there was nothing in the world that we couldn't do. You know, we would climb a tree, we would jump out of the bed, we would do anything and feel like we were invincible. And that's the person that I want from my viewers to go back and reach and find within themselves. And through that, use that light to be able to shine and be the absolute brightest that they have ever been in their lives, or at least since they were that little version of themselves that they can remember, because that's the way for us to get over some of the trauma, the fears, the forgiveness that we need to offer ourselves, and the grace that we need to give others as well. So if the viewers would be gracious enough to take advantage of that free summit and come and take a part of what we have going on at Power Up, I promise you, you will not leave the same way that you enter.
You heard it. These ladies here are on fire. They are powerful speakers, and it's evidence tonight. That is the proof. The proof is in the pudding, as one would say. I'm going to ask them to give us at least 3 of the keynote speakers apiece. You know, give us 3 speakers. Come on with it, Jaquila. I know you know. Jaquila.
So
I was testing.
I know we have Forbes Riley and Kim Coles, and my favorite, Lisa Nichols, who is like someone who I just look up to because she made it okay for a Black girl with a big smile and different kind of hair to come and rock the stage. So I'm excited for those 3.
You know, and it's so funny that you should say that, because as I look at you, you two remind me of one another. You know, it's like you could be distant. Yeah, see, they could be distant cousins or something. So thank you for that. And I know Felice has her 3 because she disappeared on us for a second. She's like, let me go get these names.
Well, my daughter was knocking on the door, and I didn't want to disturb, but. My twin took 2 of mine, but my other was one of my all-time favorite people, and I always loved and admired her as an artist. But I got a chance through an interaction that we had earlier this week to know her on a more intimate level and just hear some of the words of wisdom and the nuggets that she threw at us, the wonderful and powerful Chrisette Michelle. I absolutely cannot wait to see her grace the stage and hear all the powerful things that she has to offer the viewers for absolutely $0. It's definitely going to be a wonderful and an amazing experience.
She said free 99, free 99. That's all it's gonna cost you to join. It's free 99. Well, thank you, ladies, for identifying some of the keynote speakers. There is Cheryl Woods is another one, and Forbes Riley I saw her name out there. Sonia, I'm trying to think of Sonia's last name, but there's so many that will be on the platform. And I think it's maybe one or two young men that will be there as well. But our last question is one of the things that everyone always wants to know. And you can place this in the chat as well. How can one get in touch with you? You can place your website or your media, whatever it is that one can get in touch with you. And then you can voice it as well. Let us know. Mr. Quayla?
So because I love my name so much and I want people to get it right, you can find me everywhere at JaquailaLynn.com. That's JaquailaLyinn. Anywhere on social media is at Jaquaila Lynn, and I will post that information in the chat as well. And if you're looking for information on how you can follow me, support me, join me, support Mrs. Tampa, go to my website and go to my Facebook page, and I can share all my information with you.
And that is so true. Jaquaila is right with that name. People get my last name confused all the time. So I am not mad with you. As easy and simple as it looks, I have to pronounce it so many times. Come on, my sister. I'm going to take us off stage so you can tell us how we can get in touch with you as well.
So I can be found on all social media platforms under my name, Felice Kelly Gillum. Also, feel free to email me, be the light at FeliceKellyGillum.com. Facehouse, Instagram, and Clubhouse are by far some of my favorite social media outlets. But definitely let's connect. Friend me, I follow back, and I just would love the opportunity to be able to connect with each of you. And please make sure you get your ticket to the Power Up Summit. Time 2, the number 2, powerup.com.
And she said that. So with that note, I'm going to ask each one of you to join us again tomorrow night. We have some more powerful speakers that are coming in, and I can't wait to see where they're chiming in from. This is my first time meeting them as well, and I am super excited about what they are doing, not only in the lives at the Power Up Summit, but just showing up for other African-American women, for other women in general, and then for their families. So every one of them said that they are getting family support, and you don't hear that too often. So definitely stay on the lookout for these two powerhouse right here. And we're just going to wave goodbye to you all, and we'll see you at the summit. Don't forget to register.